Dude.
All right. It's going to be a fun show. It's all about fun.
Yeah.
Just
It was
about hanging out and, talking about paramotors. It's really no big deal. Looks like we are live. Hello, everyone. My name is Sean Simons, PPG Grandpa. Welcome to clearproptv.com, paratalk.org, and you can search for us everywhere on the internet at PPG Grandpa's Paramotor podcast. This is season 3, episode 113. We were supposed to have Mike Robinson, but I don't know where he is. So we're going to talk about winter flying and how we had to adapt to winter flying. That sounds like a fun topic. Anybody else that's out there that's in the chat, if you want to chime in, you're more than welcome to. If you want to be on the panel, let us know and we'll drop in the ID and passcode, and you can just hang with us and talk with us on the panel. I mean, it's really awesome. Let's go ahead and start with PPG Lear, LEAR.com. You have been doing some flying over the winter. What have you had to do to make it happen? I mean, snowmobile suits and winter masks, heated gloves.
Yep. Hi guys. Hi everybody. On Monday night here. So how we changed is I do fly both foot launch and trike. So for the wintertime, I have parked the foot launch and got out the trike, and we have a runway in our front yard in the wintertime so we can fly. And the trike makes it a lot easier when you're trying to land on ice. Also, when you're wearing all the bulky gear, you really don't have to worry about, running with it. So we can wear our bigger boots and warmer clothes. Led me into a direction of a flight suit. That was a 5-layer flight suit made by Blue Sky Blue. And at 20 degrees, that was the only time I've flown with it so far. It kept me really warm. So I was pretty happy with that.
When you say a flight suit, what exactly is it? Like a snowmobile suit or actually a flight suit?
No, it's a suit that's made up of 5 different layers. This one is. It's made specifically for the paramotoring community and also probably paragliding community. But it is a one piece, so it looks like a snowmobile suit that you put on, zip up. But the nice things about it is it has like an internal sleeve that you put your thumb through, so your sleeve covers your wrist. When you have gloves on, you don't have that gap between the flight suit and your glove. And but we also use heated gloves that we got from Motion Heat out of Canada. Let's see, what else do we use? That's about it.
Any special type of boots or socks?
I just use a good pair of boots. I use just basic socks so my feet aren't squished in them. But that's how we keep warm. The coldest that we have flown in is -2 Fahrenheit. And that was a cold flight. And it's just because you do have that air going on you. But yeah, there's the Blue Sky Blue website, and you can see all the different suits. So, but it was a very well worth investment, I will say.
And you said yours was a 5-layer?
Mine was a 5-layer, and I'm trying to see right there, the atmosphere 5-layer. Yep. So, and that one keeps you extremely warm.
When you got it this size, did it fit like you thought it was going to fit, or is it bigger or smaller than you thought?
So so you place your order, then he sends you an email with all of the, he has a lot of questions to ask, what you're using it for, what your size is, but then I sent him that email. Then probably within 12 hours, he actually physically called me. Now this is over in the UK. He physically called me and wanted to get a bit more information. And I told him, and he said, okay, I have one in stock. I will mail it out tomorrow. So this was a Saturday morning, his time. He called me. By Saturday afternoon, he sent it out And believe it or not, I got it the next Tuesday, 3 days from the UK.
Wow.
And his shipping was reasonable. The suit, I feel, was reasonable. Of course, you can't put a price on comfort. You want to be comfortable.
That's true.
But it was a very well built suit. So
Would you, since now you said that you're flying your trike over the winter time, so you can add your boots and your suit and
yep.
stuff like that. If you were to use your 5-layer flight suit, could you go up in a foot launch?
Yes.
Or you
Yes.
could?
Yep. And also this has, like, you can open up zippers to allow air to come through the suit. So if you get hot, you can, zip it down in different areas to get heat or get cool air coming through. And I would say that this thing at 50 degrees, you might be hot, but you'll be able to use it in a 50-degree day, because a lot of people will just wear, maybe jeans or snow pants, but it's made out of that Cadora, and that is kind of slippery. So it's easy to put on a paramotor and stuff like that.
That sounds really interesting. I might have to look into that. I appreciate that. Any other like heated gloves or vests or
Heated
anything?
gloves, we use the heated gloves. I use the ones that I mentioned, that motion heat, and they make a 12 volt and I do believe a 16 volt version. I only have the 12 volt version, but I am going to hardwire in the gloves into a spot for my battery so I don't have to use the batteries. And then I use a shell glove over that, and that is just a glove that I found that Carhartt makes, and it fits very well. A lot of people don't like gloves because of the fact that they don't like the fact they can't feel their brakes. But as crazy as it sounds, you do get used to that. So
yeah, during the wintertime, I always fly with gloves, and I have no problems with it. It's just no big deal.
So then the only other thing we have is ski goggles. We wear ski goggles when we go, and we wear we don't wear the pastry, but we wear a balaclava, and that covers our nose and our, so you don't have exposed skin, because at 20 degrees, exposed skin can get frostbite fairly quick. So we just cover our face.
And what was the coldest that you said that you normally fly up in Wisconsin?
Normally fly?
Yeah.
Preferably it would be 70, but in the wintertime, anything above 15 is all right. We're okay. The coldest I did was 2 below, and that was up. I did my lap and I landed. It was cold.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think 29 degrees was my coldest. I didn't have a flight suit like you had. My gloves are not the best in the world, but they do keep you warm. But the wind definitely blows through them. What was that Carhartt over glove that you used?
It's made by Carhartt Extreme, and it's made of the Cadora material again, because that really stops the air. So you don't get a lot of that cold wind blowing through and blowing the heat off of your glove, or blowing the heat off of, that your skin's trying to retain. It doesn't blow that heat off. So, but it was just a Carhartt brand, and it was their extreme version, and it's just a glove. So
yeah, that's always been my issue. The gloves are warm on the ground, but as soon as I go flying, that 25 miles an hour just freezes my hands really, really quick.
Yeah. So, as I said, then we use ski goggles, for the eyes, and everything else kind of stays warm, and a lot of people, I've heard people say, oh, I would never trike in the winter time because you are like trapping that air in. I just can't help it. We fly in such cold climates that we have to dress up that way, and it's hard to run with all that gear. Plus we are on ice. We are on a shiny layer of ice, and I did try to foot launch once. Taking off was okay. Landing was crazy, but no broken stuff. So yeah, you just can't really land.
So that's another thing to think about, guys, is trikes are not for old men, but for wintertime when you bundled up and you want to go fly when it's 15 degrees out and and your lake is ice.
Yeah, Steve Clark's video. Steve, he's asked what the flight suit costs. Steve, I thought it was like for shipping and everything to get it to my door was around $350. They're asking $199 uh their price. So do the conversion, and then there was shipping involved there. So
Eric, with that suit, how long or what temperature do you look for when you're about to fly? Like, I know you can go down to -2, but what do you look for in winter flying for a temperature?
well, -2 is just, it gets hard on everything with that cold temperature. And I'm mainly concerned about myself, but I also have the thing, I'm thinking about the materials that the wing is made out of, and the lines. So I think at 0 Fahrenheit is probably the absolute bare limit that I will go up in. We usually will fly, 15 degrees or higher. And, then we're okay. I feel very secure with the equipment that I'm using, as far as that temperature goes. But, it's just whatever your body can take, whatever you're dressed for, whatever your body can take. It is definitely not a, what do I want to say? It's not a, hey, look at me, I flew in -2 degree weather. It is, I mean, you want to be comfortable because it is a sport. It is fun. It's not a competition.
So approximately how long would you fly for at around -15?
Oh, the 15 degrees, we would fly for, there's a couple of times that we flew for about 40 minutes or so. And, at that point in time, even with warm gear, the wind takes its toll. It starts going through the boots a little bit because you're not walking, you're not moving that blood. And even though you have your hands up, of course, all the blood wants to go away from your fingers. So those get a little chilly, but I'll be the first one to parks my brakes and hose my hands so I don't get, super cold. So.
Thank you. I'm going to look at one of those suits. I think it's going to make a difference for me next year if
Oh yeah,
I'm up here.
right. And the thing is that the guy was very professional, super nice. He followed up with an email immediately, then a phone call after that. And as I said, that suit was here in 3 days, which I found totally amazing. So
I've got a buddy that has a flight suit and he legit wears it every time he goes flying just because, well, I think one, he's making the investment worth it, but I think he really enjoys it too because you don't have anything hanging off you. You got your pockets where you need them. You got everything you don't have to worry about. It's just practical. It's really practical and it fits him right. And it's like, fits like a glove. So I'm not sure. I'll have to ask him what brand his was. I thought it might have been the Gin one, but I don't think so. Either way, it'd be nice.
One thing I wanted to say about that particular flight suit, the Blue Sky Blue, which I've got a lot of experience with, is North Carolina and 4 layers is too much. And just, if you don't get your launch on the first time, the first try, you're going to be in trouble because you'll be extremely hot. Eric has, you have experience with the 5-layer and in very cold conditions. If I had to do it all over again, I would not get the 4-layer for North Carolina flying. Now I'm not saying it is a very effective flight suit. So, if you're going to wear a 4-layer, that thing means business. It does a really good job of what it's designed to do, and that's to keep you warm and trap heat. So it's just one thing to consider. If someone asked me, okay, I'm in North Carolina, I'd like a flight suit, definitely recommend Blue Sky Blue, but I wouldn't get a 4-layer.
That's interesting.
So these layers aren't separable.
No. Mm-mm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it is the nicest flight suit I've ever seen. I mean, it even has, did you get the one with the pocket, the matte pockets, Eric?
No, I did not. I didn't get the map pockets.
Well, each leg, I have the matte pockets, and each leg has a clear pouch where you can like put your cell phone in, where it'll be on your, on your leg, or it's just a really well-designed flight suit. And yeah, the customer service is awesome. And I had the same experience you did, Eric. And the guy calls you, he wants to make sure that he asks you questions about how you're going to use it. So for example, if you're just going to be in an airplane, okay, that's one thing. But if you're going to be foot launching, and which means you're going to be running, he wants the suit to be a little bit bigger and forgiving, so that you can run in it. Yeah, highly recommend that.
Really interesting. Well, thank you, Eric. That was really awesome. I'm gonna have to look into that Blue Sky Blue and get something warm, because when I go out and fly, it's just a jacket, layers and layers and layers, and I'm like, trying to do a foot launch. It's like, oh, I look like I'm waddling like this. I don't have much room, but I kind of stay warm. But I try not to go out in anything colder than 40 to 50. That's perfectly fine. And of course, can't wait to get into the 80s again. But thank you very much, Eric. That was awesome.
bet.
Jim's from Canada, eh? So tell us really quick about your experience in the cold when flying.
Well, generally, I prefer to fly between negative, 23, and let me do a little calculation, 14 and 23.
Fahrenheit?
If Fahrenheit is the very coldest I really want to fly. I have flown much lower, not nearly as well. It's virtually the same as Eric. I flew -4, and yeah, it doesn't get so fun after a while.
So do you have a flight suit also, or what do you wear when you go out there and fly?
I got from Costco a pair of woolly pants, and then I have some snow pants that I wore back when I was snowboarding as a kid. And then I have a really light jacket, believe it or not, which blocks the wind, and it keeps me pretty good. But my chest does get cold after about an hour. But that's, once again, that's 14, not 0. And it's but I really do enjoy it, and at that temperature I can survive. And then my boots, I wear -100°C boots. I don't know what that would be in Fahrenheit, but it's pretty incredible. They extremely insulated. In fact, they're almost impossible to buy up here. I've only seen them once in my life, and I bought them. That was 10 years ago, so I'm so glad I got those things.
Well, I've been trying to look for the actual website for Blue Sky Blue, and John Wayne's also asking for the URL. Will, did you post that up earlier? What's the actual URL for the Blue Sky Blue? I can't find it.
I'll post it.
Thank you very much. So John Wayne, he's going to post it in the chat here in just a moment. But man, so yeah, it gets really cold. I can't even imagine flying up in Wisconsin like Eric, or in Canada, which Jim is flying. So you don't like to fly in anything less than -2 Fahrenheit, but your range of flying during the wintertime is about what then, Jim?
Mine is generally 14 to about 28. Fortunately, this week, the temperatures are going above that. so I'm very pleased. But at this time of year, it's very windy. With it's just extremely windy. So I haven't been able to fly due to wind conditions.
Well, if you want to fly 1,000 miles, get up there with that Jetstream and get yourself some good miles on your belt. Which reminds me, how many flights do you have now? I know that we talked that you were under 100, but you made it to 100. How many more do you have over 100 flights?
I believe it's 104.
104. That's awesome. Well, we'll definitely have to talk to you more about your cold weather flying, but let's jump over to Will Fly real quick and talk to him about his cold weather flying. Now, you got the 4-layer flight suit, you said, Will?
You got the 4-layer flight suit, and it is extremely effective, like I said. But for you and me, Sean, you could easily get away with the 3. Now, there's another thing to consider is that, I mean, Wisconsin, right? They probably have 2 seasons, hot and cold, whereas, you know.
No, we have 2 days of summer.
Oh, is that okay? When I first went to investigate flight suits, I kind of wanted something that I could use during all seasons, and I wasn't able to find anything like that other than, so I mean, all in one type of flight suit. So the Frog Togs, they kind of work to block out wind. I don't know if you've ever heard of Frog Togs, but
I actually got some for rainy weather.
yeah, but they also block out the wind. So I mean, sometimes it's not just the temperature; it's that freaking wind that just kind of penetrates you. So yeah, that would be the flight suit. Another thing are these Sabbat gloves. Lady sent me a pair of these. I think JP, sent him a pair too. But these things are really, really nice. And if you hit it at the right time, they're anywhere from $65 up to $100 or $99. And
where do you find those?
I found them, you find them on Amazon. Let's see if I can get Sabbat Heat. And man, these things are awesome. It's the first time I've been able to fly without my hands getting cold.
Oh, wow. That's what I want.
That's saying something, because, you know, I mean, after a while, that freaking pinky, you know, it's just like, and then by the time you go to land, you just like can't feel your fingers. So anyways, I would highly recommend those. And so there's that. The other thing, yeah.
At what temperature do you fly?
When I first started, I would fly in all temperatures. So I mean, in the 30s, no problem. But now it's got to be, I guess I would say 45 would be my cutoff as far as what I'm willing to put up with. It just depends on how bad you want it, you know. When I first started, I wanted to fly as much as I could, you know, and I would be willing to endure the cold. So I'm a little more selective now. Yeah, 45 would probably be my cutoff.
How low have you tested those gloves at?
You know, that's a good question. I've only worn them like maybe 6 times. And most of my flights are about an hour and a half, I would say. If it's not, you know, if I'm comfortable. If I'm not comfortable, they're short, you know, short flights. So probably down to about 40 on the surface. The temperature's on the surface. So 2 degrees per Celsius per 1,000 feet. You can kind of do the math. But I normally fly low too. So
Brian, are they an all-in-one glove? Or is it a liner? Is it an outer shell? Is it all in one?
It's all in one. Now, as far as gloves are concerned, I cannot fly. I cannot launch with gloves. So normally what I do, regardless of the temperature, is I launch without the gloves. And then in the air, I put my heated gloves on. But that's another thing I was looking for, is a glove that was easy to put on when you're flying. You know, just a quick put it on. It can be a struggle getting some of these heated gloves over, your hand. If you do go with something like this, I'm not a big guy, and I got the extra large because I think these are designed more for people with littler hands, if that makes any sense. So that's one thing to keep in mind. I've actually had to turn these down because they were too hot.
Oh, I would love that issue.
Yeah, I've had to turn them down. And they've got 2 batteries in them, so they last forever. Each glove has 2 batteries.
And where do
So-
the batteries go?
Can you see that?
Yep, okay.
Right in there.
Okay.
Just kind of like a regular heated glove, except most heated gloves only have, those little square batteries. This has 2 of those square batteries per glove.
Okay.
So there's one more thing I wanted to share with you, and that is, I'll share the screen and show it to you. There and there. This right here. Can you see the mask?
Yeah.
Okay. That thing's only $8.99, but how cool is that?
I got some.
You have one just like that?
Yeah, it came in a 3-pack for like $8.
Oh, now you're making me feel bad, man.
No, I don't use them very much, but I was looking for something cheap like that, and I found yeah, they have the little filters, have the little air filters in them.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, when I fly, the worst part of the problem that I have the most is the cold air rushing up my nose. It just kills my sinuses. So this fits the bill. You know where I got this idea from?
No.
Harvey Milne. That's what he uses.
Herbie?
Herbie. Wait,
Harlan?
no, Harley.
Harley?
Yes, I
I heard Herbie, and I was thinking the little little.
Did I say Herbie?
Yeah,
It's not
Herbie.
like you
Like the
did,
little-
yeah.
I
Oh,
did
Harley.
Herbie.
Harley.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, he turned me on to those. They're good stuff.
That's
So other
cool.
than that, I mean, that's pretty much it.
Nancy Wancy. How heavy is that on your face though? I don't know. I'm just.
Oh, no, it's not heavy. It's not heavy at all. But see how it actually wraps around too. So I mean, it stays there.
Yeah, easy if you don't have all this going on. I mean, like, when the
I
mask
know.
on, it'd be all tangled in the back of my hair, and I'd be all mad, like, oh, I'm all right.
Yeah, you'll have to shave your hair when you start flying.
Oh, heck no. That ain't never gonna happen.
That's so
No
funny.
way, no way. JP, what are you doing?
Yeah, JP, it's your turn to tell us about your stuff. Plus, JP, you had a video about heated gloves, didn't you? He goes, I don't want to talk to you. He's like, no,
I got a
I'm
question.
I'm eating dinner. Go ahead, Jim.
Does anybody have a full face mask or a full face helmet for winter flying?
I got a full face mask, but I very rarely use it because when I go flying, I'm not in that cold of weather that my face doesn't get cold. I mean, the coldest temperatures I went out, I think was 20 something, maybe 26, 28-ish degrees. And when I flew, the only thing that got cold was my pinkies. My pinkies started getting cold, my hands started getting cold, and then I couldn't use my hands. My face, my shoes, or my feet, torso, no problems. It was my hands. If I could just figure out some way of getting some gloves, and I was even thinking about mittens, those heated mittens, the skiing ones, the ones that are windproof for skiing. I was thinking about that because really do you need all of your fingers for launching and taking off? Do you need all that, or can you launch with mittens?
Actually,
What's that?
that's a good question. Have you guys, Will and Eric, have you ever tried launching with mitts?
With what?
Like
Mitts.
mittens?
No,
Like,
Mittens
because
are
I
for
do okay with
kittens.
my gloves.
Mitts are for men.
No, I mean, whatever it takes to stay warm, but I've always used my gloves. I've never really had a problem with the gloves. I've never had a brake toggle fall out of my hand. I've never been able not to be able to squeeze my throttle, full throttle. So I really haven't had a problem.
I
So,
actually asked Sean about gloves because I couldn't understand how he launched with gloves. And he told me he just loops the whole brake right around the whole thing and then he's able to launch. And I don't know why it took me so, I don't know why I had to ask him about that, but man, it totally blew my mind.
Because I think that with mittens, I'd have no problems launching because my brakes just stay on my hands. I mean, I just just put brakes on there, right? So I mean, and then I just put my throttle on there. So the only, I mean, I could probably use mittens. I'm gonna have to get a pair of mittens just to try it. Before it gets to 80 degrees this week and and snow next weekend. So, when it snows next week, I'm gonna have to try the mittens.
I've never flown with mittens, but and hey, it's just like everything else. I have trouble launching with gloves, but it's because I haven't put forth the effort to continue, try and try and try. I know you get used to it, right? But yeah,
But
I've
maybe also
lost my
because
A's, I've lost my toggle, and I just
maybe
have
also because yours are so big, you get the really tight ones. Like I believe Eric's and mine are the same type. And I got the small ones, and they're like skin tight on my hands. And I got little hands, and they're just. But I've got full control with them. I don't have any problems.
right on. I'm gonna
And
copy.
JP's still not back.
Jim, you were asking about like a full face helmet. So we've tried using our motorcycle helmets that are full faced. The only thing that I didn't like, and this kind of goes back and forth with both, is my neck was exposed and the blocklavia, whatever you call it, doesn't go down far enough, to cut, but that was before I used the flight suit. So I don't know what it would do now. And a lot of the motorcycle helmets are only a single shield on the lens and not a double shield like a snowmobile helmet. So you would get frosting up on it. But
Okay.
it does kill the sound of the motor. And we have actually communications in our helmets. And I don't think we used them that day, but it does kill the sound of the helmet or the sound of the engine quite well.
What about banging your head on the back?
Well, don't do this all the time.
Yeah, right. You need to stop flying in thermic weather.
Yeah.
Into hard rock.
No, I
Right.
mean on takeoff.
Oh,
So wait a minute. So your head's bouncing back on your cage on takeoff?
On occasion, I have had the back of my helmet hit the back of the cage on takeoff. It hasn't happened very often, but I thought if I switched to a snowmobile helmet, that might be even bigger, or even a motorcycle helmet might be even bigger. And I thought, maybe I don't really want to do that.
I don't think it's going to be much bigger. I think you'd be fine with it.
Just your field of view is kind of disturbed just a little bit.
Yeah, it does get a little bit, you do get that, that tunnel vision a little bit, but yeah.
But what you said, you said you still need the balaclava there to protect your neck. So it's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Have
then
you
why bother? Because you can fly for at -15 with just a covering over your chin, it seems that this area of your face is able to endure a heck of a lot of cold.
Right.
I've used this right here. This is a neck gaiter has the felt on the inside. And not only does it keep your neck warm, but you can put it up here if you needed to. But when I found this is my winter around the neck thing. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that looks a lot warmer than what I'm using.
You know, so much of things that we talk about, everybody's unique and everybody has just little, differences or whatever. But I use the Resurgence Buff. I'm going to turn my screen thing off here. So go ahead. Well, go ahead and I guess talk and I'll set it up if you want.
Well, yeah, I go ahead and turn it off so we can see your Christmas tree.
Hey, JP, what are you doing?
There he is.
What's up, guys?
Well, we were talking to you and you just kind of like
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What I miss?
everything.
Got a lot going on.
We gave away $1 million. We said, let's give it to JP if he wants it. And he goes, he's gone. So
It's
yeah.
the spinny wheel of million dollars. Unbelievable. Did you guys talk about heated gloves? I know heated gloves.
That's what we were talking about, that you actually did a video about heated gloves and stuff like that. So can you go over your video that you did and tell us about the heated gloves and what you've found out? That'd be
I
really
don't
nice.
know. It's kind of inconvenient. Oh wait, look what's already preloaded.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man, if you go to jptulo.com and check out JP TULO on the YouTube, on the Instagram, on the TikTok, and the Facebook space, you can check out my review right here. Honestly, I really wish I would have done an affiliate link or know how to do an affiliate link, because I've had so many people tell me that they went straight and ordered these gloves on Amazon right after watching my video. So, and it wasn't really my intent. I got these gloves as a deal and I really liked them. They're freaking awesome. They heat up right away. You can't beat the price. It was like 80, 90 bucks, less than $100. And they come with large batteries that last forever, heat right up, cool right down. They've got 4 heat modes. I think Will got a pair. You like them, Will?
Well, a pair of what?
Pair of
I've seen those gloves in my life, man.
oh, you don't
Pair
know
of
what?
motor, a pair of gloves, a pair of socks.
Yeah, we were talking about those gloves, so I second it. They're awesome.
Yeah.
I can't find them on Amazon though. I can find everything else, but I can't seem to find SABOT. Is that what it is?
SABOT. The problem is they sell out. They don't keep in stock. In other words, they only stock up for the winter. And then once the supply is sold out, they don't become available until the weather starts getting cold again.
What's up?
Oh my goodness. I found a pair for $39.
Yeah, but now look at the sizes that are available.
So what I'll do is let me go ahead and share my screen so you can. Oh,
Trying to
JP's.
multitask here.
After JP shows us his stuff,
Yeah, I think they were out of extra larges.
Yeah.
Oh, is that it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that would suck, because that's what I need. Oh no, they have medium and extra large.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, 59.98.
Yeah.
One in stock.
Ooh, you better grab it.
You know what?
No,
I think
it
I'm gonna
kicked
have
you
to.
off.
You know,
Kicked
and make
you
sure
off
it's
when
the same glove.
it's one word, SABOTHEAT.
Yeah, but if you look at the
That's-
box, it says new for 2021 on the box.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Hey, can you tell me what voltage it's running?
No, that was an Apple Pay.
Only you would ask a question like that, Eric.
This one
Oh.
says 300 milliamps.
Well, the milliamps was my next question.
Oh, it says washable. heated ski gloves for snowboard.
Yeah,
and
no,
motorcycle.
it's 3,000 milliamp hours. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's what you got
7.4
too?
volts. 7.4 volts.
Okay.
Well, that seems to be a really good deal. $60.
It is. It absolutely is.
One in stock. Order soon.
I just ordered it. You gotta hurry, man.
Nope, order placed.
Right on.
Installed on Amazon, and looks like Resurgence PPG gets a little something something. I supported the charity 138 times this year. That's how much I spend on Amazon. It'll be here March 17th. All right, got me a pair. That way I can do a video like JP and Will Fly. I just want to be able to fly and my hands not be cold. And how many batteries came with it? Wow,
Two.
that's a huge battery.
But see, yeah, see how that each one has 2 batteries in it? It's a
Oh,
pack.
I bet it lasts forever.
It does.
And they're on the forearm side, not the top side. The batteries. That looks nice.
Yeah, they're on the underside, on the the wrist.
The forearm side of the wrist. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bottom side, whatever. Yeah. Okay, that looks pretty neat. They look like they're windproof.
You won't have any trouble keeping your hands warm. And,
Well,
like,
it's-
and you say your hands always get cold?
Well, yeah, because my hands are so big, and even though it says extra large, I try to get 2X and 3X gloves because extra large is just so tight. That's why I was thinking mittens might work.
Well, I don't know if they come in a extra large or 2X.
They only had medium and extra large, and now they have none because I just bought the last one. Sorry if you guys wanted to jump on Amazon and buy that. I figure that I better grab it when I get the chance.
Yeah, but keep looking because they last I checked, they were out of extra large, and she said they weren't. The whoever who sent me these said that the company wasn't going to be making more for this season.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I don't know.
Well, they look pretty good.
What was that, JP? A mirror?
Making sure that his video's recording, I guess. I think that's pretty cool. I'm going to have to, I'll be really interested in going out and flying now. Well, now that it's going to be 80 degrees, I won't have to worry about that. Unbelievable. Oh, and of course, my car is still being repaired. $7,000 worth of damages. And they said that it won't be done because there's pieces and parts that they're still finding until May something. So
Wow.
I got a stupid rental until May something. Let's see, share screen. Let me show you. This is it on Amazon, and it said 33% off, $39, and that's it. That's all I got now. But this is it, right?
That's it. Yeah, see how it says 2021 new?
Yep.
And a travesty, I said travesty because I don't know which way to pronounce his name.
I know, it's such a travesty.
Does that say $40 now?
Yeah, I'm telling
I
you.
paid like 90.
What?
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
man,
Well, come on now, man.
that's it. They were 90.
I know,
earlier.
I know.
Well, yeah, at the beginning of winter they are, but not
Yeah,
at the
okay, it's
beginning
not
of
winter now,
summer.
that's why.
Yeah. And last I checked, they were like 65, I think. So I guess they're closing out the stock for this year. But Travis D said that he's got a pair of those and he does have 2X. So
Yeah, there's a 2X and there's an X. So if this XL is too small for me, I guess what I'll do is I'll just do a giveaway on ClearProp. So somebody's going to win. Somebody's going to be happy with it. That's all that counts.
Yeah.
So, I guess, Jim, are you still there or are you taking a break? Oh, he's still there. Okay, good. He was just smelling his Canadian money. That's all he's doing. It's maple syrup. Looks like JP is on the phone. Oh, let's go ahead and run over to ParamontUSA.com. We talked to everybody else. Now, obviously, you don't go flying, but you do have a son that flies.
Yeah.
Have you heard anything about flying in the wintertime or anything like that with him? No?
I don't think in California he's got to really worry about that all too much.
Lucky duck.
It gets maybe down in the 60s or whatever. But you guys are talking about gloves, so I'm just gonna, show the humor here tonight or whatever. But on those not so cold days, right? Then you need to have these.
I think that's what gets cold, though, is the fingertips. Everything else is fine.
But I mean, it's for the days that are, so, and you think you need a little more protection on your, on the palm of your hands than.
Yeah, those will work good when you start doing kiting.
Oh,
So
true.
when you learn to do kiting,
Yeah.
you can take those along.
Yeah. Just be careful in higher wind. You usually get burns on your fingers
Oh,
when you line.
gosh.
So you need,
I
you
I
need
don't
your
know. Every Christmas, my sis would, when I was still in Arizona, or, my sis would send me gloves like these or whatever. And I used to wear them. I would wear them at work because, if you had the full gloves, especially if they stick me in front of the door or whatever in the wintertime in Arizona, 50 degrees was, like freezing for us. So I wore these all the time, and they kept my hands warm,
That's good.
and I could still like pick money up and everything. But anyway, just had to, change it up a little bit, Grandpa.
Absolutely. Got to change it up.
Yes. Yeah, Robert, my son, Robert, he has a show on Thursday night, paraglidingtalk.com. And he's my awesomest paraglider. And he does like to do his paramotoring too when he can. And yeah, it's all good. Good. Thank you, chatters, for joining us tonight. We're all just kind of rolling with it as we do on Monday nights. And I'm so happy to be here. Always, always, guys.
Rolling
Love
with,
it all.
rolling
Love
with the
ya.
punches. Yep, rolling the punches.
That's
John
what we
Wayne.
do. That's
John,
it.
John Wayne said, "Well, to hitch to that rental car." You know what? I would love to. I think my wife and I kind of figure out an idea of what we can do is that we can get her name on the rental car, and then I can take the Jeep that has a hitch, our Jeep, and we can use that when I need to carry my paramotor because it's been pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It's like, how do I take my paramotor out to go fly? My wife's at work until 5. It gets dark at 6. So by the time she gets home and I load up everything and I go there, it's like, oh, good. I can fly for 2 minutes. Yay. So,
Yeah.
um,
Well, I'm glad you got to see John Wayne. That
that
was awesome.
was
You guys got to
really,
hang out,
really
and do
fun.
your stuff, and that was cool. Very cool. I was
We,
happy.
we had a blast. It was really fun. It's
Good.
really great when people come through Arkansas and say, "Hey, Sean, let's go fly paramotors." It's like, yes,
Yeah.
I know all the cool LZs. Hey, let's say hi to people in the chat real quick. We did say hi to John Wayne. We got Brian Waller is in the chat. Will Fly, Geriatric PPG, which is also John Wayne. He has 2 accounts on there. So hey, that's awesome. Bill H. Bill H. actually asked, "What is a snowmobile?" I don't know if he was joking or what, but who has access to a snowmobile and knows how to tell Bill H what a snowmobile is?
Oh, I'm sure if I looked around, I would.
Eric-
There's plenty to be found down here. Actually, my
known
son
as-
has one. My son here has one.
Eric
so.
or Jim?
Yeah, so the people up north call them snow machines.
No, they call them snow machines.
Yep, up in
Instead
Alaska,
of-
that's where I was raised. We always called them snow machines. And I moved down here and I said, hey, who's got a snow machine? Everybody instantly thought I was talking about riding around on one of those machines that makes snow on a ski hill.
How funny.
What?
Well, for me, I always call them skidoos. Probably
Skid-
because
Skidoo.
of Bombardier.
ski-doos. Okay, yeah.
Skid-
No,
Skidoos. Skidoos. I love
Skidoo.
that.
That's funny. Skidoo.
Do you
Oh,
do you
yeah, I'm
put
thinking
do you put
that's
do you put
water.
do you put decals on your skidoos?
Skidoo.
Yeah, and we eat poutine too.
We have to learn a
Okay.
whole new language with Jim here with his Canadian
Skidoo. I like that.
skidoos and his
Yeah.
decals on his skidoos.
Yep. There
And
you
we
go.
wear
They're expensive too, man.
Dukes
Those
on top.
Skidoos.
Good old skidoos. All right, let me go back and see who else we got here. Bill H and Travis D, because it's a
Hey.
travesty because we don't know how to say his last name, so it's a travesty.
Poor
Eric
Travis.
PPG here. Daniel Roosh is in the house. Hey, how's it going?
Hey.
Paramotor Girl will fly. Another travesty. JP Tulo, Caleb Cox, what's up? Clark's
Okay.
video. Clark's video. Eric, what does the flight suit cost? Okay, you already asked that one. Okay. Kelby Cox, Resurgence PPG, what's up?
Hi, Resurgence.
Resurgence. They're making a bunch of money off me because every time I go to Amazon, I always go to smile.amazon.com. If you guys don't know about that, when you order something off of Amazon, you can go to smile.amazon.com, find Resurgence PPG, and Amazon will just donate money to Resurgence PPG anytime that you order something. It doesn't cost you anything at all. So make sure that you go to smile.amazon.com and put Resurgence PPG as the not the sponsor, the
Yeah, let me see how
whatever that's called.
I've tried to. I'm not interrupting or anything, but I've tried to look that up on there on Smile, and they always tell me not found, not found. So maybe I'm putting the wrong link in there or something.
So JP is showing you right here about the Resurgence PPG and smile.amazon.com. Now,
Okay.
how would I find Resurgence PPG on Amazon to make that my charity? So where do you click first? I mean, where do you go? So you go
Yeah.
to
So on
Amazon.
the right there, right here, there's Amazon in your hello. It says hello to you,
Okay.
Okay.
your account, and you're gonna
Okay.
scroll down here to Amazon Smile.
Amazon
Right.
Smile.
Click
Okay.
on that,
Okay.
and it's gonna bring you up to your Amazon Impact page. Or if you're not signed up
Okay.
yet, it's gonna ask you to sign up. But at
Okay.
some point, there's gonna be your. I've already got my charity selected, but if I go here, I can click to change my charity.
Go ahead and click that real quick for fun.
Yeah, and then it's going to give you a search field right here, and just type in Resurgence.
Like in Resurgence, because I've done that, and I don't know why. It's
And
like,
right here, Resurgence in Goshen, Ohio is a Christian fellowship, and right below that is Resurgence PPG in Mount Holly, North Carolina.
Okay.
Human
Okay.
service organizations. Our mission is to provide an opportunity for emotionally and physically adaptive, capable veterans and warriors to overcome personal challenges through adaptive sports participation in order to build resiliency as well as rehabilitate physically, emotionally, and spiritually.
Okay.
What
I'll look
better
for that.
charity than that right there? So then you're just going to
Okay.
select, and bada bing, bada boom, it's done.
Okay. Okay.
Now, also too,
Try it
when you check out, you have to go to smile.amazon.com and check out that way. If you just go to amazon.com, it won't.
You can see
Resurgence doesn't get it.
in the URL at the top of the page, it has to have Smile before
Oh,
Amazon.
okay.
So if you
Okay.
just check out at a regular Amazon, it's not
Yeah.
going to work. But if you, I don't know if whenever I order stuff, I order from my phone, and you can set it up so that you only log on to the Smile. And if
Right.
anyone needs help with that, send me a direct message, a private message. I'll help you set that up. But it's best just to go through, delete all your Amazon bookmarks, reset your bookmark as Smile Amazon, so that you don't even
Oh.
go to regular Amazon anymore.
Right.
Don't even think about it.
Smile.amazon.
Yes.
Smile.amazon.
Go to smile.amazon as your bookmark. That way,
Okay.
anytime you're
Okay.
on Amazon, and you can see, when you are, because you look in the left corner right there. It says Amazon Smile Prime.
Okay,
That's
okay.
how you know your money. And then every time you buy something, it'll tell you too.
Okay.
0.03% of this goes to Resurgence PPG. You've made an impact.
You
And
know,
just-
look at that amount. Look at that, $3,700
For nothing. This is nothing out of your pocket. This is money
Right.
that would have otherwise gone to Amazon. It's not, you're not paying extra for this. This is
Nope.
free money for Resurgence. If everyone in the PPG community was signed up for this, this would be like 10 times that. It's just,
Yep.
it's free money.
And then you just have to make sure that you go to smile.amazon.com to check out. So, I mean, so anywhere that you would normally put stuff in your cart, like you normally do, put in your cart. That's no problem. You can put in your cart anytime that you want to. But when you check out, make sure you go to smile.amazon.com to check out. So Resurgence does get, you know, a little cut.
Look at
Okay.
this number right here. $306 million people, you know, are getting to charities just by using this link. It's free money for
Very cool.
charity. And yeah, it's
Okay.
just, there's no reason not to do it other than it might be a tiny bit difficult. But like I said, if you have issues with it, send me a message on Facebook, you know, speak up in the chat right now. I will help you with it. It's super easy. Once you've done it once, it's just completely self-explanatory.
Hey, JP, while you're on that page, can you go back up to your accounts and then click down to your credit cards real quick and let me screen share?
Sure. And the social security number. And
What I want to see is, I want to see those 53 things that you have in your cart that's worth $2,500.
Ooh. I'm
What-
trying
what
to
do-
think
what do you-
here.
What do you have in your cart?
about that.
So here's the thing is I like to load my shopping cart up
I
with-
do the same
with
thing.
just stuff that may or may not be
Appropriate.
interesting. And let me, I don't think there's anything, I'm taking a gamble here. I don't think there's
And
anything
you are a
nefarious in there.
brave man.
Don't think so. We're gonna find out here in a
That's
minute.
right. No
Ooh,
no one's gonna watch. No one
Oh,
sees
man.
anything.
drone stuff, AirTag stuff, batteries. Ooh, jptulo.com, patches.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't even think about patches.
Yeah, you
being
can
customizable.
you can order your own embroidered patches.
That's really neat. I have
pretty
to look
neat,
into
huh?
that.
Balance chargers, cameras that Sean hates.
I never said I hate them.
You just don't use GoPros. You're not a fan.
I have a
You're a fan
ton of
of
them.
the cell phone camera, aren't you? Because it's there, it's easy, it's done.
So
It's
easy. But I do have that wing mount, that magnetic wing mount
right.
looks down at you. I do like that. And I
Yeah.
also like the session that I can put on the chase cam. So yeah,
The
chase
Session
cam.
is a great camera. I'm so disappointed that they discontinued it.
I
but,
know that was like perfect. It was small. It was a one.
check this
button.
out. So that camera went, I think, new when it came out in 2016. I think it was around $400.
Sounds about right.
Well, I was looking at trying to find one the other day. GoPro, you have to find the Hero 5 session. There it is. Hero 5 session. $739 new.
It's not new, is it?
Yeah, you can get it brand new in box, but because it's discontinued, the price has appreciated. But the trick is, if you want to get a hold of these, you can get one. You can order. They have a refurbished option, which that's how I got my initial one. Renewal here.
Next to
you can get-
nothing for it.
Yeah,
there's one for 300. Yeah,
yeah,
there's another one
300,
for 200. Oh, that's a
199 right
04.
there. Actually, don't order that one because I might go order that right now. The trick is though, you don't want the Hero 4 because there's no
Stabilization.
hyper smooth in Hero 4. The Hero 5 is the newest option of the session.
Yeah, what's that one at the very top? It says Run Cam. That
Run
orange
Cam,
one.
it's like a knockoff.
Have you tried it? It's
I don't know
only
much
100
about
bucks.
it. I've heard good stuff about it. They use it a lot in the drone world because I believe it has identical dimensions to the session. So you use the same mount that the session uses. It's just like a budget sort of economy.
And Sean,
GoPro.
you can 3D print a mount. I have.
Yes. Actually, there's a no tangle GoPro 5 session mount you can print from Thingiverse. It's a no snag one. It's pretty cool.
Isn't Thingiverse awesome? It's just like people
It's amazing.
sharing ideas and
And they
you know,
finally took down that ad stuff that you had to wait 5 seconds for your stuff to download. They took
Really?
that off. Yeah, thank God. That was awful.
it's kind of got me interested in the 3D printing hobby. But I need another hobby. Like I need a hole in my wallet. Like
I mean, 3D printing is great because you can print stuff for your paramotor, which is
or
awesome.
your other hobbies. Yeah. So it's like a stack on hobby. It's a
Yeah,
hobby for your hobbies.
hobby. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hobby
No,
for your
it's
hobby.
the drone world is like big, huge on 3D prints.
Do you have a
but,
link for the patches? Chris Fenimore would like to know.
I can get one for him.
I guess you just search for what customizable, because when you search for customizable, lots of things pop up. It's amazing.
Hey, while he's searching, I wanted to show you this. So this is the Resurgence Buff, right? And I love this. I wear this all the time. All right. And even in the summertime, I'll wear this to keep air from going up my nose. Problem with any buff that I've tried though is it's continually falling down. So it's probably because of the unique shape of my face. I don't know. So what I did, all right, now check this out.
Okay.
There's a hole right there, man. And I just put it right over my ear like that and like that. And it stays put the whole freaking time. So you heard it here first. There's $1 million idea. I mean, sometimes I don't want to wear a complete balaclava on my face, just a little something to cover my nose. And sometimes it's not quite cold enough to wear a whole mask, like that. So there's
Wait,
another.
hold on a second. You took one of the Resurgence.
I defiled it.
Man.
Shame. It's a shame.
What are we gonna do with you, Willfly?
I don't know.
So the link is too long for the patch, so I'm just gonna show you.
Was it on Amazon?
Yeah, it's on Amazon. If you just type in customizable text patch, there's different sizes, which is what I had options. There's a 2x3 patch, a 3x2 patch, which
Customizable what?
custom text patch, custom embroidered, here you go. Some of
Oh,
them
wow.
you have to
Yeah.
make sure it's what you want. Some are like iron on, some are Velcro, some are
Wow. I just typed in customized patch and I had no clue. That is so cool.
all right.
Gonna have to make some make some
Less than
Clear Prop TV
$10 too,
patches. Make some Clear Prop TV patches.
Ooh, uh-oh.
Okay, so yeah, I mean there's a ton of them.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Tons of different options. You can get borders, different fonts, different size fonts, different types of fonts, lots of different options. So there's I got a backpack with all my RC stuff, my drone stuff, and it's got a Velcro spot on it, and I was gonna put my tag on it, my JP Tula. So when people say, "Do you have a YouTube page?" I can say, "Yeah,
Look at my
jptula.com."
patch. Look at my patch.
My patch.
Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna have to
Check
get
this out. I got this from like Poland or Russia
Nice.
for a bunch of buddies that fly around here. Isn't that cool? I love it.
It's cool.
Very cool. Wait. Why do I?
Wait, everybody just stop.
Where do
Wait
I
for
know that
JP.
name from?
Oh, you know Dustin?
Yeah,
Blanchard. Yeah,
he's on the thing, right?
yeah, you betcha. He was one of my instructors. He helped me
Okay, yeah,
kite.
yeah, yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I know Dustin. I know the name, that's for sure. Definitely recognize it. Very cool. Small world. What up, Jade? Pink flamingo? Flying flamingo, Jade?
Hi there.
She's
What's
a
up?
trike
Guys.
machine with the skis.
No skis right now. We're
No
still,
skis on the trike?
no, we're fabricating mounts for the skis. So it didn't really work out this winter.
Right on, right on.
Oh, yeah, but it was all right because we had to or got to plow the runway off. So that worked out all right.
Cool.
Tempted to go out flying tonight.
Plow the runway, which is the
The
lake.
lake.
Plow the lake. We're going to plow the lake so we can take off.
Yep.
How many people? Oh, okay, guys, in the chat, just for fun. How many of you have been actually on a lake that is frozen, either driven on it, taken off on it, walked on it, or something like that? When I used to live up in Wisconsin, we did the same thing. We went up to the lake and did fishing. We drove on the lake. We parked on the lake. It was just amazing that it can hold so much weight. Just wondering how many other people have done such a thing. Because until you do something like that, you just haven't lived. All right, let's go ahead and continue real quick. Kelby Cox, Resurgence PPG, Brian Waller, John Wayne, Nick Griffith, Bill H, Tony Marzano, another Travis D. Going down, Daniel Roosh again. Looks like we got a lot of people just chatting. Plainfield PPG, welcome. Let's see. Anybody else? Fly My PPG LLC. Mike Cotter's here. Welcome. Let's see who else is in the chat. Angela Preslick. And there's just so many people, and I really appreciate you guys just chatting and having such a good time talking about paramotors and watching us and listening to us. Let's see. Chris Fenmore. Anybody else on here that I did not say that that's on there, guys?
Did
Anybody?
you say Walter?
Hot Butter Production. Walter is on here.
Yeah, from Australia.
Walter.
I didn't get to Walter yet, so welcome, Walter. Glad that you're here,
Okay.
buddy. I'm just scrolling and just scrolling. It's just amazing how much Clark's video, Kelby Cox, Mickey Alberto, just so many people just chatting. It's just amazing.
Awesome. Thank you, chatters. Much love. Much love.
So I hope I got everybody. I hope I said hello to everybody that's in the chat. Yeah, there's Walter. Of course, Walter, Linda, XOXOXO, baby. XOXOX. Walter, I don't have no XOs, no love from you. What the hell, man? Come on.
Oh, poor grandpa. He's all sad now.
Hey, I ain't got no love from Walter down under. All right.
Oh my gosh.
Well, glad that you guys were here and we talked a lot about winter flying and flying during the winter times. I guess since Jade's here, she can tell us what, her take on flying up in Wisconsin. We know her husband, Eric, and his take. So let's hear Jade real quick.
He's not here. I hate it.
Oh, you hate flying in the wintertime?
Yes.
Really? So
Yeah.
so what's the coldest that you'll fly, and what kind of, did you get one of those suits too? Those
No, not yet.
not yet, but you are going to get one.
I'm waiting to see if Para Orange would come out with one, if Karen Close would come out with one. But she's so busy on all of her other original products right now. I'm not sure. And now that it's summer, or not summer, but coming up on summer, I really don't care about winter anymore. I'm so done with it.
I think a lot of people feel the same way.
So right now I'm just flying with my skiing, snowboarding stuff. And I don't know how much I'll be getting in maybe next fall either, because I'll be having surgery this early summer, so. So I don't know how much recovery time I'm gonna need.
You're talking about like a knee surgery type of thing?
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yep.
I wonder if you have knee surgery, can you still fly your paramotor, your trike?
Yeah, I think my instructor and I were talking about that, and I said, it's like I just want to make sure if I don't have good range of motion, because I know having reconstruction surgery, there's no way I wanted to even have anybody near my knee, during that recovery time, let alone a knee replacement. I'm not sure. Everybody says you're up and walking, that first day. So I'm hoping I'll feel 10 times better and, ready to play tennis and pickleball and everything else again, but I don't know.
Did you just say pickleball?
Yeah.
Okay. Real quick, has anybody else heard of pickleball, or is it just me that just never heard of it in 50 freaking years? I've never heard.
No idea what that is.
Okay, in the chat,
That's-
anybody, do you guys know what pickleball is before she starts talking about this? Because I didn't know. I really don't know. But
No idea.
then again, in my town here, we have toad suck. So
Hey, Jade, you can come up here. They've got a pickleball club.
They do here too. That's why I'm all excited. I was kind of hoping that I could start joining that. And I've only played it like a couple times, so I'm kind of looking forward to doing it. So it's a cross between tennis and like badminton.
Yep.
On a badminton court, I believe.
Yeah.
Right. Where I played it, it was down in Arizona, and they had lighted, and it's a lot with the older communities. We were visiting my parents one year down there, and at a 55 and older, and they had lighted courts. My son and I were went biking down by the pool, and they had this tennis court, which we thought, and we're like, what are these paddles? And they were wooden closed paddles, almost like a large ping pong paddle. So yeah, it was pretty fun.
It was huge where, when in Arizona where I lived in, the retirement community, whatever. Yeah, that was pretty.
It's just a smaller version of it. Yeah,
They use those waffle balls, do they not?
I believe so. Yes,
Like
if I
the
remember
plastic
right.
ball with all the holes in it,
The wiffle ball. Yep.
wiffle ball.
Yeah. Guys should try it out.
Bill
I
H.
found out
said
tonight that
never.
the school has Tuesdays and Thursday nights, and then a Saturday morning, and you can just show up and play.
That's so crazy. Yeah, Bill H said never. Walter said play ball. Tony Marzano said it's just you. Pickleball is big out here.
Cool.
So, Deweese, yes. Never heard of toad suck. Oh no, it's not toe suck. That's not TOE. It's not TOE suck. No, it's a toad, like a frog. TOAD, toad suck. But
Man, you never know what we're going to end up talking about on these shows.
well, Brian said something about noodling. How about noodling?
If I can't see the bottom of the water, I'm not going in.
Oh, noodling with
Catch a fish with your hand.
the fish.
Yeah, fishing with your hands.
Yeah. Fishing with your hands. Stick your hand in a hole and hope like hell there ain't. Who, me?
Yeah, I think you got some TV going on or something.
I wonder who the very first
We
person.
can fix that.
I wonder who the very first person to noodle was. I mean, how did they even get that idea? I think I'll stick my hand in this murky water. I can't see. I'm just gonna stick it down that hole and see what happens.
Why not? I mean, that seems to be, I mean, I don't know. I don't know who would have first thunk it, other than maybe they were like, I wonder what's down here. Oh my God. Hey, look, a fish.
And how did they
Hey, I
come
remember
up with
stories
that
of my
name?
dad. My dad did it, and his granddad did it. His dad did it. Noodling goes back a long ways.
Wow.
Long ways. Yeah. I've heard stories of my dad saying he'll never do it again because he watched one of his friends when they was teenagers almost drowned, got pulled in by a big catfish. Yeah, it can be dangerous.
Uh-oh, got catfished way back then. Hey, JP has to go, he said. So JP, oh, he walked away again, so whatever.
Bye.
Oh, okay, bye,
Goodbye.
JP. Okay, there you go.
Bye.
Hey, JP, don't forget that our screenshot, our little thumbnail.
All right, screenshot time.
All right, everybody, cheese.
One, control, shift. 1, 2, 3.
All right.
Man.
Woody jumped in just in time to get thumbnailed.
Yeah, did anybody fly today? That's what I want to know.
I
Nobody?
did not. It was way too windy today, unfortunately. All weekend long and Monday, really, really, really bad wind. Hopefully it's going to be nice this weekend. Got another student coming up for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So that's going to be good. But it looks like the weather's going to be a lot nicer. It's going to be in the 70s
Where you at?
in Arkansas.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Oh, you guys got bad storms going on there tonight.
We had, yeah. So 2 weeks ago we had snow, then we had 80s, then we had snow, then it was in the 80s, then we had snow, and now it's gonna be in the 70s. So it's if you don't like the weather,
Yeah,
here, stick around a minute.
I was actually going to pull out today, headed for Texas, until I seen the weather that's coming through Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, and I said, nah, I ain't driving through that stuff. Ain't no
Yeah.
way.
No, I think it's supposed to rain tomorrow too. So.
Yeah, so I said I'll leave Wednesday.
All right,
It's supposed to be
JP.
nice from Wednesday on.
Thanks for joining us, JP. I know that you got to run. Thanks for the screenshot, bud.
Always a pleasure, guys. Am I muted?
Oh,
No, you can
I
hear me?
missed it again.
See you, JP.
Wait, I missed Linda?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay, hang on. We can
Actually,
do
I
another.
was
Well, you missed what?
messaging with Mike, so he might jump in a little
Oh,
bit.
okay, all right, one more, real quick. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
Thanks, JP. You're the best.
No problem.
Have a great night, JP.
All right, guys, I'll see you later.
You're the
Bye.
bestest.
North Carolina first in flight.
Oh, sick. Oh, that's sick. Unbelievable.
North Carolina first in flight. That was awesome.
Hi. Hi, Woody.
Woody.
How are you?
You made it. Yay.
Woody-
Wait a minute.
Woody.
I got to find my pom-pom.
Woody made it, but it's a week late, but
Woody's in the house.
glad that you made it.
Well, I just got
Okay,
back
there
to
we
the
go.
airfield. I was flying.
Woody made it. Woody made it.
Yeah.
Just in time to
We
say
had one of
goodbye
the
to
rough
everybody,
flights
and
tonight.
just in
Yeah,
time, just in time to say goodnight.
That's all right. I'm just
Okay,
glad I'm back
bye.
on the ground because it wasn't the weather was not good up there tonight. It was not good at all. It was bad. It's like get my ass back on the ground quick.
Yeah.
Now you fly during the winter
that-
time,
that's-
right, Woody?
I fly as much as I can fly whenever I can fly. Yeah. But now that I'm getting a little older, I'm a little bit pickier. I have my temperature threshold now, where 2 or 3 years ago, I think my lowest I've ever flown in was 7 degrees, and that was stupid. But yeah, I fly pretty much year round, weather permitting, of course.
Yeah, me
So,
too.
Plus, I
And
travel for work, so I travel for work, so I get to fly a lot of different places when I travel, which makes it really nice. So that's a lot of fun.
that is awesome. Wish that I could. So, how many states have you flown in? Do you know offhand?
Oh my God, I don't know, probably half of them, half of the lower 48, probably. I don't count, just like I don't log my hours, I don't count, but yeah, probably half of the lower 48 I've flown in at this point in time.
So you don't log.
Matter
You
of fact,
don't.
we're going to get, huh?
You apparently there's a huge lag between us, so sorry about that. So you
Yes.
don't log your
okay.
flights anymore. you probably don't know how many hours you've flown. Do you count your 100-hour maintenances? Is that how you keep track of things now?
No, I fly till it breaks, pretty much.
Yeah, I used to
Uh,
count the 100-hour maintenances because I have no clue. I'm like you. I fly every morning, every night, midday if it's nice,
Yeah.
anytime I get the chance. Yeah.
So Kylo, I was visiting with Kylo Glee one time, and him and I got on this subject, and one of the students was asking him about logging his hours and how often he does maintenance on his motors. And he says, well, I do my pre-flights and I fly till it breaks. Then I know I need to fix that part and I put a new part on, we go in and do it again. That's my philosophy. If it'll start and run and pass my pre-flight checks, we're gonna run it and just go.
Do you take care of like the piston rings or anything like that a certain amount, or you just keep on flying until they scratch up and blow up?
Pretty much, yeah. Like I say, I fly till something gives up the ghost, and it's not uncommon for me to see 150 hours out of an engine before the rings go bad or something gives up the ghost. But clean fuel, clean oil, good warm-ups, all the above. Try to take care of it, and just fly the hell out of it. It's a Vetter Aussie. It's made to fly. What do I say?
What is this?
But,
Blackhawks offices iPhone? Who's logging in here? Who's Blackhawks?
That's got to
Mike.
be Mike.
That's Mike.
That's Mike Robinson.
Ah,
Yeah, it's gone. He's gonna come up from his phone.
He didn't change his time.
he didn't change his time. What do you
We're
mean?
half-hour mark now, so
He's figuring out. I think he's driving.
on a half-hour mark. Yeah, he might be having cell phone trouble.
He'll be on. He'll be on.
Yeah, I think the big weekend for a bunch of us is Galveston Island this weekend. It's supposed to be beautiful flying down there. Go meet up with the gang down there, Houston PPG and the gang, and we're gonna do some flying off the beach all weekend. It's supposed to be gorgeous.
Oh, sounds awesome.
There he is.
There he is.
Yay!
You're on mute, so if you want to talk, you got to take yourself off of mute. There you go. I asked you.
He has no idea.
It's on a helpful.
It's technology stuff is for the birds, man. Oh well, at least we got
How the heck I get on? Do this. He's figuring it out.
Then at the very bottom, there's that little microphone looking thing. Just tap that and it'll unmute it.
I had a question for Jake. When you're taking off on that trike on the lake, I saw that one video where you guys were sliding around on the lake, but I was wondering how often that happens, where
Not
you have very little traction.
Not much traction, but I don't know the sliding part, other than one day I was coming in, the wind changed on me on a crosswind and coming down, and it was kind of sketchy coming down. And
Well, there was once when I think Eric was trying to take off and he ended up going into the drift on the side.
yeah.
But so I was wondering if that was partially due to traction or lack of traction, or was that just the way things
Here,
went?
Eric's right
out?
here.
No, that was, we were taking off in a crosswind because our runway is only going east and west right now.
It's narrow.
And it is narrow, so when I plow, I wanted to make it bigger, but when you have a full-size Chevy truck with a snowplow on it, there's a little bit of weight there and you get a little nervous. So, I plowed it, I don't know, it's probably 30 feet wide. But what happened was I brought the wing up and everything seemed to be good. And then all of a sudden, it hit a crosswind on it. And I tried to correct it, but I wasn't able to correct it quick enough. And I knew that I was going fast enough that if I pumped the brakes real hard, I would pop up, and that's what happened. But I did catch that right wheel on the snowbank. Um, and it really was, I barely felt it, although it looks like the whole thing turned sideways. I really didn't feel it much, and it recovered extremely quick, but we just don't have the traction on the ice. Our skis that we have for them have carbides on them. So then we'll get them tracking just fine, but I 3D printed some mounts, and in order to 3D print mounts that are going to hold up, what we call infill, which is the internals, would have to be solid, and then they get extremely heavy. So I'm having some custom fabbed up out of aluminum, and then that'll solve the ski mount problem, but they're probably not going to be done until whenever he finishes them, and so on and so forth. But
So do you notice a pretty big difference between the ice and like just snow?
the snow, you get more traction. The ice is actually fun, because you can, so when our lake freezes completely without any snow on it, you can raise the wing up and you can just drive up and down the lake, going back and forth, and you're just drifting the whole time.
Oh,
Because that
that's
trike just wants to sit underneath that wing. So if you move that wing, that trike's gonna just drift over, and you just it's actually kind of fun. But when you're landing, it's very smooth, because you can be, coming in, crabbing in sideways, and you touch down and you just slide until the thing straightens out. So that part of it is actually we just play, and then we won't even hook up the wing, and we'll go out there and just throttle around running the lakes, and then you just turn the front wheel sideways and hit the gas a little bit, and the front wheel will grab, but then the trike will start drifting, and you just carry that drift all the way around totally not designed them what they're for, but it's fun.
You gotta get one of those cameras that I know that you do that points down,
Yeah.
and then do the drifting.
Yeah,
I bet that would be a really cool video.
that would be.
There you
that-
go.
that's an idea.
Tony Marzano says you need a set of chains.
Exactly.
Yeah. I never thought of that. How would that work on a trike?
You need a big shovel on the front of your trike too. That way can.
Plow
Yeah.
snow.
Yeah, there we go. Hi, Mike.
Hey,
Welcome.
guys.
Sorry
So,
about
thank you.
the whole mix-up thingy or whatever, but I'm glad you made it. It's all good.
No worries. No worries.
It's all good. Yeah, you don't have the cold like we do here, so yeah. What is it, like what is it in California, like 65?
It's 68 right now.
Oh, I feel so bad for you.
Yeah, we've had some pretty good weather, but we've had a lot of wind this year. So it's made
Yeah,
our
I
training a
noticed
little
that.
difficult.
Yeah, I noticed that. Okay, PPG Grandpa, take it away.
Well, I guess we can start our podcast now.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Well, I'm glad that you joined us, Mike. Tell us a little bit about yourself and when you start into paramotoring.
Well, I started paragliding up in Washington back in early 2000, and then started paramotoring in 2004, and ended up buying the old Paratoys in July of 2005. And then we changed the name to Blackhawk because kind of didn't like the name Paratoys.
And
And
then
we've just taken off from there.
and you've been doing Blackhawk ever since.
Yep. Yeah, I was a builder architect for a lot of years and was always a fabricator. I used to build drag race Harley frames and used to drag race Harleys and got into the fabrication there. And then once I picked this up, figured that, a good part of Paratoys needed to be rebuilt. So we went to the drawing boards and started coming up with new equipment and such.
So when you first started building paramotors, did you have designs in your mind from the ones that actually were awesome that you liked and tried to emulate them? Or were you just trying to go, hey, I want to do something completely different and start from scratch?
Well, the first thing was to learn the ins and outs, of what makes a PPG fly properly, torque, etc., is something that needed to be considered. Back then, we were mainly high hang points. Weight shift wasn't really a factor. And being a free flight pilot, I felt that, if we had weight shift, it would be nice to add, particularly those cross countries that we were starting to fly, powered paragliders. It's nice to be able to scotch over in the seat a little bit and negate your crosswind. So, we knew that that weight shift was definitely going to be coming on strong. So we kind of concentrated on that. The other thing was, torque. We have several ways in which we've learned to balance the torque. The first one was our loop within a loop glider riser system. And that's made a huge difference. Whether your motor torques to the right or the left, you can go to the blue shorter loop on one side or the red longer loop on the other. If your glider is pretty neutral, then you can fly in either the blue to allow your brakes to be closer, or stick with the red. The difference in length between the two is only 3/4 of an inch. So basically, you're going to pull your glider down 3/4 of an inch, and that does a lot to negate the torque without utilizing your trim settings.
That's pretty interesting. So I'm sure that there's a lot of really interesting things that you learned throughout the years of uh, looking at paramotors, the different hoop sizes and props and stuff. Have you dealt with any like props that change pitch? I know that they had something recently about making some props that can change pitch. Have you ever thought about that or tried to design something like that before it became a thing?
Not really. You have that in a lot of airplanes, but it does add considerable weight and another maintenance item. In a lot of airplanes, that's run hydraulically, basically, via oil pressure, allowing you to adjust the pitch of your prop. I don't know if we really need that so much as perhaps concentrate more on electric power.
Ah, good thing to talk about. Electric powered paramotors. Have you designed any and what do you think about them?
Well, I think that we had the most advanced one for sure. It was called the AMP. And that was like 6 or 7 years ago now. We showcased it at Oshkosh. But again, the problem is your batteries. Until those batteries really start to improve, you're either going to add a lot of weight or batteries improve and you can have the same amount of weight and be able to fly for an hour and 15 minutes. I know a lot of people advertise that they get an hour, but we have two fellas that are customers of ours that work at Tesla, and we've experimented quite a bit, and battery technology still needs to improve somewhat before you're honestly going to get that hour and 15 minutes. Gosh, if we could get an hour and a half, that would be incredible. But you're still looking also like at an 18 horsepower or so engine. So for somebody 150, 160, 170 pounds, that will be adequate. But if you're looking at somebody that's 200 pounds, 220 pounds, not so good. The other idea was, the popularity of trikes and quads. We sell a lot of quads and trikes, and there you can carry larger battery capacity, but you do need that bigger horsepower engine too. So it's kind of a double-edged sword in a way. Again, when battery technology improves, which I think in the next few years, we're probably going to see something that really makes a significant change. I think we're kind of stuck for now. The other thing to consider too is the mining, for these lithium ion, the phosphate, et cetera. There's only one mine in the United States, and it's a pretty small one. We're getting most of our battery materials from China. Right now, that might not be such a great situation. We really need to start looking out for acquiring our own energy or meeting our own energy needs regarding batteries, because we all know electric vehicles are going to be a big a big item in the coming years. Same for PPG. I think we're all going to be electric.
It's electric.
not me.
Woogie, 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 woogie.
No.
Well, I mean,
Well, you know, we have a 4-stroke, you know, the only 4-stroke, and it is an awesome engine. It's fuel injected. It's water cooled. It still has a clutch. It's made by Helvenco, the Aero 1000. And that motor is burning less than a gallon an hour. How do you beat that? It's 35 horsepower. And then the new HO version for our new Bush Dog Trike is 39.5 horsepower. And right now, we're just finishing flying and testing that. I am maintaining straight and level flight at 2,600 RPMs, 4-blade prop, 160 centimeter, so roughly 60 inches long. It's crazy. I landed and we had to check the tack. I couldn't believe that motor and that prop configuration were working so well together. But we'll be advertising that shortly. Just playing around, we pulled off a 15-foot takeoff in about 3-mile-an-hour wind with it, and landings of 5 foot. So we're calling it our STOL. It's called the Bush Dog, DAWG, and we're treating it like a STOL, short takeoff or landing PPG.
that's really interesting.
You'll see the videos. It's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. It's got these giant Tundra tires. It's pretty cool.
Nice. Anybody on the panel have any questions for Mike?
Yeah.
Anybody? Okay.
Yeah, Mike, with respect to PPG training, how are you seeing the growth of the sport?
It's really hard to say. That's really a good question, because there's so many people popping up with instructor certificates, and a lot of them that aren't getting their instructor certificates are still throwing a shingle out, so to speak, to become a trainer. And in a way, it's kind of becoming like a Starbucks, where people are starting to expect a PPG guy in every town. The problem is we're getting a lot of phone calls from customers who are really unhappy. So I think that allowing so many or having so many people selling gear, of course, many of them haven't really been flying that long, but they're talking like they're as knowledgeable as Boeing, is becoming a problem. We've had a lot of people travel great distances in a very short period of time trying to get training that we're actually somewhere else. So didn't mean to go negative, but to answer your question honestly, with all of those people popping up, it's kind of hard to say. We're averaging about 204 students a year at Blackhawk at the home facility over the last 3 years. And last year we're averaging about the same. But we get people from all over the world traveling to the mothership, so to speak. So I think that our draw is a little bit outside of the US at times. That answer your question, kind of?
Yeah, it did. Thanks. I've got one more question. And that is, when I was first looking into the sport, I remember watching, I'm pretty sure it was one of your all's videos where you were talking about the average age of the person who wanted to learn to fly a paramotor. And I think it was 52 or somewhere thereabouts.
It was 52
Does that ring a bell,
then.
that video?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was like 52 then,
Yeah.
and now it's 56. And you know what's strange is
No
the
kidding.
weight then was 52 and the weight was 225. Now it's 56 and the weight's about 215. So somebody might be getting in a little better shape at an older age. I don't know, but anyway, yeah.
So America
It's wheels,
is getting
you know?
healthier. America is getting healthier and older.
Yep. We learned about keto.
Hey, Mike, I got a question about that. You were talking about that 4-stroke. So the 4-strokes, you know, a lot of people do know that they do get better fuel economy. So you just pitched your prop for a lower RPM because your torque is in the lower end of that, or the lower RPM.
Well, not on that particular engine I was describing. That was the first time that we'd flown that particular engine. And yes, we configured mathematically what prop we could or should be using on it. but our max RPM on that engine is 9,500.
Wow.
We
on
did
a
not
first one.
expect to be running such low RPM. And so I called Andre at Helvenco and said, hey, I says, I'm running 2,600 to maintain straight and level flight. Again, we should probably look at the size of the glider. We're running a really efficient Verve, which is made by Velocity. It's our heavy lift gliders. They come in 34 meter, 39, 42, and 44. And so I only weigh like $170. So I flew it with a 39 meter. The unit itself weighs about 195 pounds, you know, with the bigger tires and all of that. So that plus my weight. And so perhaps the glider was on the large side, but that same configuration with our other Helvenco motor, not being the brush dog, not the big prop, not the higher horsepower, I was around 5,700.
Okay. And what's your all up weight with that trike?
It's about 190 pounds plus my 170.
Okay.
So I called Helvenco and I said, hey, he said, check your tack. And I said, no, it tack's fine. We're idling at 2,000 RPM. You know, so the tack's fine. I go, is it okay to run this engine at such a low RPM? He says, you're not going to hurt it. You know, how's your temperatures? Our temperatures were 138 degrees. So
what's
they
your
would like to see your
reduction on
temp.
that, Mike?
Pardon me?
What's your reduction on that?
I'd have to look and see. The bottom pulley was 50 millimeter. I don't know what the total reduction is. We'd experimented with 2 different reduction pulleys. But for that particular prop, it was the 50 millimeter lower. And that's all I can remember right now. If I was in the office,
So
I
you're
could
actually
check
running a
for
belt?
you. Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
just curious. So you're actually running a belt drive and not a gearbox drive on that
It's a belt drive with a clutch.
with a clutch?
With the
Cool.
clutch. Yeah.
Cool.
So you know, Helvenco's testing of this motor at their facility was 276.8 pounds of thrust.
Wow.
Pretty
Wow.
big.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And
But-
for people that don't know, like me, what is the actual thrust of maybe a Moster 185 so we can kind of understand the difference?
They vary on your thrust difference. You know, I'm sorry, they vary on your prop, you know, differences. Some guys are running some pretty big props. I think a fair Moster assessment would be about 160, 165. So double that.
Oh, okay.
So Mike, these
So are you-
units, they're definitely not compatible for foot launch then, huh?
No, it's too big and way too, somebody kill yourself. We've got a guy that wants to break the altitude record, you know, going up to a certain altitude. This motor will do it, especially being fuel injected. But he's a strong kid. And I say kid because he's only like 28 years old, you know, only buddy dumb enough to try something like that. But he'll do it. It's Brandon Thompson, one of our instructors. He's a good pilot and a strong
You
kid.
better do it while he's fearless.
I know. Huh? Yeah, there'd be somebody
Yeah.
else coming along. Reality for the most part. The only people really getting hurt in this sport are the younger guys that are being a little uncautious or too prideful. It's a pretty safe sport, don't you think?
I think so.
I'm more scared landing the damn
With
airplane.
proper
Woody?
with proper
Woody's coming over the
with proper
threshold at
training,
70.
this is a yeah, no shit. I am too. The private pilot's license that I'm working on now, I never quite understood it in the beginning when people say, well, I fly a plane, why can't I fly a PPG? Well, now that
You
I've
do
got my
now.
toes wet with private pilot's license, the only thing that's similar is when you're up there in the air flying. Takeoff's different, landing's different, everything's just different. What an awakening moment for me, to say the least. Total different realm, total different world.
You come
But I'm
across the
loving it.
threshold at 25
loving it.
miles an hour on your PPG and 70 miles an hour in a 172. It feels like you're doing
Well,
150, doesn't it?
And you know, I'm telling you, you hit the nail on the head, because that's where I'm struggling a little bit. Now I've got my trike, and so yeah, I'm landing faster on my trike because I don't have to worry about my legs giving out on me. But coming in on that 172, that Cessna coming in at 70 mile an hour, it's like, oh shit, excuse my French, but damn, we're cooking.
Yeah, you feel like it's
So,
way more than
I'm
70.
having a big learning curve right now with landing this 172. I'm having some issues, but I've got a good instructor. She'll get me there. She told me I'm close to solo already. I told her, I said, no, I'm not. She says, yes, you are. I says, trust me, no, I'm not. So
That's funny.
we're having fun with it though. That's the important part.
Yeah.
We're having a lot of fun. So
One thing
the
y'all maybe
question-
haven't really
question, Mike,
talked about. Yeah, go ahead.
no, well, I was going to ask you on that thrust. Are you getting so much more thrust out of that because you're running a 160 prop? I mean, of course, bigger prop, you're going to get more thrust. Do you think that's also contributing to running lower RPMs because you're running a bigger prop?
Definitely, but it's also the horsepower of the engine. It picked up 4.5 horse, and
Yeah.
I cannot believe this engine likes that horsepower. It really does. It's not giving me any indication otherwise. It was so smooth through the full RPM range. In the video we'll be putting out, I said, okay, I'm talking, in my vlogger helmet, and I said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and go full power. Oh, hell no. Hell no. I went to like 60% and I was staring straight up. My glider really dropped back, and I'm like, damn, I do not really feel comfortable hammering that thing. But remember, the reason for that particular unit is, Woody, you know how many big guys we sell to. The big boy club is 290 plus. So we've got guys that are essentially flying a tandem all the time. And then look at tandems now are a little bit more available to people. So what a wonderful, aircraft to be doing tandems in. It's super quiet. I can talk to you like we're talking right now, and with that engine running, there is no issues.
So,
and the fact that none of these new 2-strokes out even have fuel injection is nuts.
Right. I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Corsair's the only company making fuel injection.
Yeah. So not comparing apples to apples, is more like a little bit of apples to oranges, but my new trike, I'm running a 503 Rotax on it with a 3-blade 160 prop on it. And I have yet to go full throttle because it's scarier than hell. And my cruise speed is nowhere close to where yours is, but my cruise speed is less than half throttle just on cruise. Yeah. So I understand what you're talking about, the amount of thrust and the lower RPMs. And yeah, I haven't done full throttle because it's just like you're staring up at the sky. It's like you're going to fall backwards out of the sky. There's so much power there. So I definitely understand where you're coming from on that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's nice. If you need the power, you got it.
That's true. That's true. But again, the video we'll be putting out is pretty cool, and I think it'll put a lot of this conversation in perspective. But yes, the bigger prop makes a difference. The horsepower, 4.5 horsepower more, makes a big difference. And E-Prop is who manufactured the 4-blade for us. Not comparing it to another 4-blade, I think they did a really good job. The balance on it's beautiful. There's no lapse in any of the thrust. It spools up super quick. Yep, I think they did a great job. We'll have Helix take a crack at it because, as some of you may know, we have a 4-blade Helix prop that we use on the lesser horsepower version. So I'll talk to Bjorn and see if we can't put together a Helix 160 and see how that performs as well.
Now, I don't know about the 4-blade, but that's what I'm running on my Rotax. is a 3-blade 160
Mm.
Helix. And I
Yep.
really like it. There's a lot of oomph behind that one. So are you running a hand throttle or are you running a foot throttle on your trike?
We're
on your-
running
on your
still
new one?
hand throttles,
Oh, are you
still
really?
hand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just curious,
Yeah.
because mine's a foot throttle and I haven't decided if I like it or not yet. So I'm just
just-
curious about that.
We've thought about it for some of the handicap people that we've done units for. We've had to go to a foot throttle. Me personally, I just kind of feel that there's more dexterity in your fingertips because we are more of a precision pilot here, you know, or close proximity type of pilot. And I just like that feeling in my fingers versus my feet. But you know, to each is his own.
Well, I haven't got used to the foot throttle yet. I'm still all about the hand throttle, but that's what I've been flying for 5 years now. So I don't know if I'm just going to continue with the foot throttle or if I want to try and switch it to a hand throttle. Because
Well, you can always switch it and switch it
I like
back.
the hand throttle. Switch it back. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome stuff.
To everybody watching, has anybody really thought about or discussed the availability of titanium?
I think I'm going to jump in here a little bit. I know there's been some talk across Facebook, and I know a dealer that's a good friend of mine up here in northern Indiana. So it is a concern on some people's minds right now. We don't know what's going to happen, but it is something that started coming to the table for discussion at this point in time. That's all I can tell you that I know of right now. They're starting to think about it.
Well, Russia's the manufacturer of the decent quality titanium. China's titanium is kind of like their aluminum. It's not very good. And I don't know, with regards to everything that's going on right now, whether we want to deal with either country. But my sources are telling me that there's going to be a problem here. And so many of these manufacturers now, well, you know, many manufacturers, I don't know if I want to call them a manufacturer, but they're getting their frames and everything from Russia or the Ukraine.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's
Hopefully
going to become an
hopefully
issue.
things get ironed out.
There's a couple of questions in the chat, Sean.
All right, go ahead.
Well, one is a statement from John Wayne. He says, "Hey, Mike, thanks for help getting a solo." So passing that on to you.
Right.
And
Awesome.
yeah, Tony Marzano is wondering, will the trike fit any motor?
Right now, the trike fits, if we're talking about the Lowboy 3, right now it fits the Corsair Black Bull, of which we've only sold 2. Everybody is going with the 4-stroke. The difference in price is about $3 grand. Heck, just the fuel injection is worth that. Then of course you have to consider the fact that it's a 4-stroke versus a 2-stroke. If somebody has something specific like the Polini, for instance, we can build a mount plate for that will fit on that motor, or will fit on the motor and fit on the Lowboy 3.
Okay. And Daniel Roush, I think I said it right. Anything new for this year's fly-in at the Black Hawk Ranch?
No, we've really, I won't say downsize the fly-in. We're not doing the promotion that we used to do. We don't charge anything, and California law kind of sucks. As in, if somebody gets hurt and they paid a fee, it leaves me really hanging out there, and I can't do that to the ranch, so to speak. So we don't charge anybody. We still bring in the sandy cans. But as far as the events and stuff like that we used to have, we don't do that anymore. And we're just allowing people to come out there and fly a beautiful part of the country. It's still one of my very favorite places to fly. There's so many places that you can go.
Right on. Yeah, you know, we're entering the flying season, the official, I guess, you know, the warmer weather and everything. And it's a time when gear can be kind of difficult to get your hands on, you know, when you order something. I mean, it's going to increase in the length of time it takes to get something. So yeah, someone said in the chat, well, no, Bill H said, let's just make them out of aluminum. And yeah, I mean, we all know the advantages or the disadvantages of each type of metal, but it may come to that. But I mean, aluminum's still a metal, and I don't know where y'all get the aluminum from, but is that any better than the titanium as far as its availability?
Yes. Yeah, I can pick up aluminum right here in the US with no problem from aluminum manufacturers. Our shop is in Poland, and we're not having any problem. We're not using titanium simply because if you really look down at it or look at it weight wise, you can go to slightly larger diameter aluminum from what people are using in titanium, and the difference is only grams, yet the strength is minimalized. It's the Kestrel V3 is an extremely strong frame. On the Kestrel, for instance, the fact that the net is tightened by 2 different cords, you know, in the circumference versus 1, I can't believe how much difference that makes in strengthening the diaphragm of the hoop itself. More people should do that because that net is strong. It's like nailing off plywood for, you know, seismic or hurricane, right? If it's nailed off properly with the correct number of nails, it becomes extremely strong. And the netting is the same thing. It really strengthens the diaphragm. So I and Mike Gambrel, we've never really figured out why it was going to be an advantage to go to titanium. Also, we like to powder coat our stuff. You know, we powder coat everything a metallic, whether it be blue, orange, the matte black, red, green. People get to choose some different colors. And that's why Parajet, you know, does their net deal with that vinyl wrap around the hoop so that they can add some color to it, and it looks good.
For $500, it should look good. I had a
I'm
pair
not going to say anything.
Well, right on. Thanks for that.
Again, Blackhawk's, our philosophy, and I'm not trying to sell anything, you guys, but our philosophy has always been try to keep the pricing down as low as you can so more people can enjoy the sport. I'd rather go with the volume to pay the bills than anything else.
Excellent. I think we're
You know, during COVID, we came up with 2 new gliders, the Elite Pro frame, which is part carbon and part aluminum. We worked with Corsair and came up with a fuel injection for the 172, which, by the way, is working phenomenally. And we came up with a new, the part of the Aero 1000 with Helbanco, the new redrive system and all, which really helped that motor. So we were pretty busy during COVID.
That's good. Seriously.
Sounds like it.
Well, I think it's some of the suppliers out there in the industry are having a hard time with materials right now because they didn't buy materials and other people did, such as gliders. You know, I mean, look at Ozone's lead times. Is it gone because they sold so many gliders? It's because they didn't buy them enough material when they should have.
Yeah, they didn't have the stock.
Right.
Walter, do you have a
Trying to
question?
say something, but we can't hear him.
Walter has a question.
Oh,
Go ahead, Walter.
We
You're
can't
on
hear
mute.
you, Walter. No, he's not on mute. We just can't hear you.
Oh,
Your microphone's not working, buddy. Well, get it fixed. And
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
While Walter's trying to figure out his microphone, I want to ask, so not taking anything away from anybody, Vitarazi has a really good parts network out there right now. You can buy a lot of parts from different places. Have you gotten to where your parts network is coming along a lot better than what it used to be? Can you get a lot of parts from a lot of different dealers now, as opposed to, say, 5 years ago when it wasn't quite as good?
Well, AT was a difficult company to work with. and the parts availability, what they said would be available and what we actually received was never what we ordered and paid for. That was a problem. And, you know, it was tough dropping them. But that's what we did. And now that we're working with Vitarazi and with Corsair, it's definitely gotten better. Both companies have been wonderful to deal with.
Awesome.
I like Corsair. I'm not saying I'm choosing Corsair, but I'm saying that what I like about them is that they've authorized us to make the warranty calls. And Alberto, the owner of Corsair, is a wonderful, wonderful guy. And he said, basically, Mike, if it's a gray area, take care of the customer. And, you know, I have to be respectful to both, because if I'm giving warranty stuff away all the time, pretty soon they're going to scratch their head and say, okay,
Yeah.
why, you know, but so far it's worked out wonderfully. He's been, and Evelyn, the gal that we deal with most there, she's awesome. My son and I are actually going to go to Italy and visit both factories here in June.
You gonna fly that 172 over there?
Yeah, fly and go show Vitarazi. Hell yeah.
I heard
I tell you. Well, they're
Walter's trying to.
Corsair's EFI is working very, very well. Very well. But the only problem is we got to find a way to get the cost down, because who is going to add $2,000 to the cost of their motor for EFI?
Yeah.
So we're scratching our heads on that one, and Alberto's doing his best to, you know, figure out what he can do. But how much is the factory R now?
Yeah. Very true.
You know, isn't it about a couple grand or $1,700 more?
Hey, I think Walter's trying to chime in here somewhere.
Go for it, Walter.
I don't hear anything.
I
Yeah,
heard
it's
it
worse
briefly,
now.
and then he went away.
Walter, type it on chats. Type it over here on the chat message, because we still can't hear you.
Well, at least we know tomorrow we're going to have problems with our internet.
That's right. Yeah.
Why? I guess I haven't heard something.
He's in Australia. He's tomorrow.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, Walter. I know Walter. Good guy.
He's tomorrow and upside down. So
True.
He must have a new computer or something.
well, he needs a microphone.
Maybe, huh?
Well, it was working earlier. It just was so quiet.
Sorry, Walter. We'll try again later. You can always type it in the chat, bud.
And it's good to see you, Walter.
Yep. Sugar.
Is that for me?
Bill H said,
Sugar. You might-
Bill H in the chat said, I thought I seen EFI was $1,500 back in 2019. That's what I thought. I thought it was like $1,500 back when Aviator was talking about it a lot.
Yeah. Well, one fella came out with the, I don't recall his name. I don't think he's in our sport anymore, but he came out with it and was selling it to Aviator. But
that
by
it?
the time you add the stuff you needed for it, you're still about $1,800. But that's not the sophisticated system that Corsair has. Corsair's is pretty nice looking. I can, maybe on the next show, I can post you guys some pictures of it. Yeah.
I just mean, you know, it was 1,500 and it's only 2,000 now. I mean, that's still a, you know, understandable.
Yeah, but when the dang engines are $2,800, and then you're adding, EFI for two. Like I said, I always look at the bottom line for everybody. I try to keep the prices where as many people can afford them as possible. And we add another $2,000 to the cost of our paramotor. It's kind of getting up there. If we don't pressure ourselves to keep the prices down, then they're just going to go crazy, right?
Yeah.
Well, I
We-
mean, it's still a good extra to get. I mean, you know, you have that choice of getting EFI, which I think would be really awesome because I would have chosen to try some EFI on my Moster 185.
Mhm.
But you know,
I can't tell you if the power is any more necessarily. I can tell you that the fuel mileage is better. I can tell you that I can start that thing with a quarter of a pull. It starts instantly and it runs like it's electric. Any issues with pipiness or anything like that are just wiped out. It's like an electric paramotor, pulls from the basement to the attic.
It
To
would be
me, I
sweet.
think it'd be worth it.
It would be sweet to get rid of a carburetor. You know?
I
Yeah.
agree.
We do have Walter's question in the chat. And he said, Mike, $3,000 more than other engines. Time between overhaul, 1,000 hours, great value.
Well, the overhaul period is probably going to be around 700, 750 hours. My personal one went to 710. I'd put a clutch in it, a couple belts, a map sensor. I think that was it. And it went to one of our dealers and hasn't asked for any parts, and I know he's flying it, so it's doing well. But realistically, figure between 500 and 700 hours, and the overhaul for the entire engine is only $1,800. So basically, we take your block in, we give you a new rebuilt one, you throw your valve cover, stuff like that on it, and you go fly it.
That answer your question,
Pretty
Walter?
reasonable.
Good.
all right. Any other questions in the panel?
I think we covered them.
I think so. So, Mike, tell us a little bit about how we can get up with you and look at your company and all the cool stuff that you sell.
Well, our website's pretty cool, I think, and it's blackhawkparamotor.com, blackhawkparamotor.com. And if you have any questions, we answer our phones. We have people in the office. We have an engine shop. We have a part shop. So whatever you need, you guys give us a call. Try not to use social media because we are so busy to monitor Instagram, Facebook, et cetera, is really difficult. A simple phone call. I love to talk on the phone because you get more accomplished and you are able to answer more questions, or you're able to figure out what might really be wrong with, let's say, a particular situation that the guy might have or gal might have. Might be something altogether different than what they thought it was. So we can solve problems easy on the phone, or just use the email.
Awesome. Any other questions in the chat or anything like that? Did I miss anything?
There is one more. I think I did miss it. Bill H. Let's see. What is Solo 210 for $200? Please. I don't know if that makes. I don't know if I'm catching on to that. Anybody?
Well, what was the question? I didn't understand it.
Yeah, okay. What is Solo 210? And then it says for $200.
Sounds like he's trying to buy a Solo 210 for $200.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Important.
Oh, Nick was replying to Bill H. So I have to scroll up to see what Bill H said. I see
Oh.
what you're saying.
Oh, okay. I thought Nick was pointing out that we missed a question from Bill H and he was reposting it. Nick, you always getting me into trouble.
Looks like we got Shannon Brooks in the hood. Anybody else jump on that I did not say hello to?
Bill H, if I missed your question, there's a lot to read here. If you could repost it, I'd appreciate it.
What you
Shannon's on there.
For that will.
Yo,
Okay.
Shannon.
Scott Starbeck.
Cool.
There's a lot of chatting.
Thank you, chatters. I love my chatters. You know
Yeah,
how
yeah.
I am on Monday night.
Yeah, and if you miss a question, you got a lot to freaking read through, you know. I mean, dang.
I'm scrolling up. I'm like, did I really not see all this? It's just really, it's really hard to watch the chat and see what's
Yeah.
going on here and behind our scenes on the Zoom side. It's a lot of stuff going
You're
on.
doing awesome. I can't see the chat from here. That's why you don't see me like, oh, wait, he said this or that. Because you know I'd be all over it. And you'd be like,
See,
okay,
you need
Linda,
to be
we'll
in
get
the
it in a minute.
chat.
Travis D says, if y'all want to know something about paramotors from the beginning to now, just ask Bill H.
Oh, well then.
That's what he
Just
said.
ask Bill. He could have his own show.
Hey,
Just ask Bill.
there you go.
I've asked Bill to come on the show, so I'm still waiting for him to say yeah.
You
Come
and me
on
both,
over.
Grandpa.
Water's
Me and you
warm.
both. I know.
Bill-
I'm like so over it now. I
Bill,
am.
whenever you want to jump on here, just let me know.
That's right. You know where to find me, Bill H. You know where I'm at. Hello.
All right. So, did we miss anything, Mike? Is there anything that you want to talk about before we head on out?
Oh, thanks for having me on the show. And if anybody ever has any questions, feel free to give me a call.
Absolutely.
I got Bill H's question.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh,
He says, did Mike say anyone can come to the ranch and fly? So I guess he was wanting that to be clarified.
Everybody is welcome to come out to the ranch and fly.
There you go, Bill H.
okay. Well, I'll
Gotcha.
bring my horse then. I
Awesome.
can't fly, but I can bring a horse.
Oh, Walter
go.
wants to go. Walter wants to come to.
So, when and
Yeah,
where
the
is?
fly-in,
Yeah, when and where is this?
fly-in, yeah, it's April 21st through the 24th. You guys can come in before, you can stay after, we don't care. Typically, there's a couple hundred pilots there or 150 pilots there. It's a cross-country dream place to fly. There's like 7 lakes you can fly to. It's rolling hills with scattered oak trees. The location is at the Blackhawk Ranch. It's on the website, 8591 Hogan Dam Road, Valley Springs, California, 95252. All you need to do is sign a waiver when you get there and go fly.
Dang. I'd go there and never come back, probably.
A lot of gals, they come with their husbands and they bring their horses and they go
Oh,
ride.
see?
Interesting.
There's
Well, I wouldn't bring a
Lots of
husband,
places
but
to
I'd
go.
bring a horse.
We can't
You're
hear
welcome to
Walter.
come out.
He's doing a great job. I can
Yeah.
understand everything you're saying, Walter.
I like horses better than husbands, okay, at this point. Yeah. I said it. I said it. Yeah. Walter.
Well, Walter's entertaining us right now.
Yeah. If y'all are listening to this on your favorite podcasting app, you got to come over to iflyparamotors.com
Yeah.
and watch this episode. It is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, the later it gets, the more, slap happy we all get, and we just do our thing, right? There you go.
Absolutely.
Say whatever.
And Walter's even doing a little heart thing with his hands. Aw.
Hey, Woody,
Yeah,
keep me posted on your PPL.
I will. I've got to take a break somewhere. I lost the screen. I don't know where you guys are, but I can hear you.
Well, we can see
I've
you.
got to go back on the road. I've got to get on the road and make some money because flying's expensive, and I don't care what anybody says. It's just, it's expensive.
That's all
Between
right.
my PPG, but you know, at my age, and I don't have nothing else to do. Why not? So 10.5 hours in, solo's coming soon, but I got to get on the road and make a little money first. And this summer I'll come back and hopefully get my solo in and go ahead and get my test taken and be well on my way to having that check ride and seeing the world from another perspective. So
Did you
it's
get
a
your
lot of fun.
medicals?
And I tell you,
Did you get your medical, sir?
Not yet. I'm gonna miss my doctor before I go on the road. So when I get back, I've got to get on that. I've talked to him, and medicals does not seem to be an issue at all. So that I'm not
He
too worried
needs to
about
be
that.
he needs to be an FAA medical examiner. Do you know that? Okay.
He's an FAA medical examiner. He's I know our particular flight school, they all send him to him because he's not out to fail you. He's out to help you get your medical, which is a good thing.
Right.
Because there's a
Well,
lot of people who don't pass their medical. So yeah, that's a good thing.
Right now they're really backed up. So get your medical done as soon as you can, because without that card, you can't solo.
Yeah, I've already got all the paperwork filled out. Gee whiz, FAA's interesting, trying to do all this paperwork online, but yeah, I've got all that done. So it's just a matter
Yeah,
of going
there's
seeing
nothing
him,
more.
and then we're.
Oh,
There's nothing
interesting. I
more
never thought of
bureaucratic
that.
than the FAA.
Yeah, well, so just so if anybody's curious, even if you don't pass your medical, you can still go down to LSA where it's not required to have a medical, but you're just not going to be able to take passengers up and do the things you want to do. You're going to be in your, LSA aircraft, your STOL aircraft, basically. So there's other options out there. Sport pilot license, I guess that's the easiest way for people to understand your sport pilot license. You don't have to have the medical that you do for your PPL. So that, there's other options if you think you can't pass a medical, which is a good thing.
Right.
So it's fun. So if anybody's ever looking into flying a real airplane instead of a parachute, it's another challenge to learn something. Really fun, very interesting. And I think the best advice I can give to anybody is check out your flight schools and find a flight instructor that you like working with. I think that's key. Just like in what we're doing in PPG, research your instructors, find an instructor in a school that you get along with, you have good rapport, and you won't have any problems. So,
Agree.
a lot of fun. Yeah, a lot of fun.
Sounds
I gotta get this done.
Sounds awesome. Hey, Jim's got to go, so we're gonna wish Jim a little farewell. So farewell, Jim. Thank you for joining us tonight
Farewell, Jim.
on the podcast. Keep sniffing that amazing maple money you have in Canada, eh? Love it. So before you go, where can we find you as far as your paramotor shenanigans? And you also do some cool stuff like print out paramotor calendars and stuff for us. Tell us a little bit about that before you go.
You betcha. I can help you with any of your printing needs. I've got multiple machines and fun tools around here to make all sorts of things. And you can get a hold of me at carepp.com. I have shipped as far as Australia down there. And if you want to check out my paramotor shenanigans, so to speak. careppg.com. Check it out. Thank you, guys. It was a
Awesome.
great show. Really appreciated talking to you, Mike and Woody. Really enjoyed it.
Awesome.
Thank
Well,
you.
thank
We
you, Jim.
appreciate you. Love
And-
you.
I've got to get going as well, you guys.
Sounds
Thanks,
good.
Mike.
Sounds good.
Appreciate
Thank you.
ya.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mike. We appreciate you. I guess we'll just call this the end. Wait a minute. What does that say down there? Love Canada,
Love Canada.
Love
Hey.
Canada,
Hey,
Hey.
hey.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Mike and Woody, it was great having you on the show.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate you.
Thanks, you
Yeah,
guys.
appreciate
Thank
so
you.
much.
Enjoyed
It was fun.
being able to stop in and say hi.
Sure. Don't
Yeah.
be stranger.
Yeah, come on over anytime on Monday nights. You know how to jump on now.
Yep.
Yeah, now I do.
Thanks, Mike.
All right.
Appreciate you.
All
I'm
right.
signing out too.
Thanks, Woody.
Enjoyed
Appreciate
it.
you jumping on,
Having a lot
bud.
of fun. Yes, sir. And we'll be in touch with y'all. Take care. Have a good
See you
week.
on the flip side.
All right. Later, Woody.
Yes,
Thanks.
indeed. Peace out.
All
You got
right.
any
Seems like
donate-
everybody's leaving us. So Will Fly, tell us a little bit about your paramotor shenanigans and how to find you on the interweb.
Yeah, man, you can find me on YouTube under Will Fly, or just go to willflyppg.com. And looks like Nick Griffith gave us a nice donation.
Oh, did he? I did not see. Thank you very much, Nick.
$5.
Appreciate
Thank you,
it.
Nick.
Oh, thank you. I still love you guys. Aw. Well, we still love you too. Can't wait to go flying with you again. It's been a minute.
Yeah, man. Bad apples.
Bad
Def-
apple.
Definitely gotta go to Bad Apples. Gotta. And let's see. I guess we can chat with Jade real quick. You got a show on Tuesday, a show on Will Fry. Are you? He's Chinese now. Will Fry. Hey, Flying Flamingo Jade. You have a show that comes on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Well, your husband on Tuesday, you on Wednesdays. But tell us a little bit about that real quick before you head on out.
Tuesday night hangouts will, I think they've got a really good guest possibly on this week, pending the weather, Kyle O. And if Kyle can't come on, they've got a backup.
Cool.
And Wednesday night, Paramotor Girl with Girls Just Want to Fly, we have a skydiver this week. She is actually flying back from Panama right now from a skydiving event. Her name is Ellen Pulford, and she's got a great life story, and which I'm interested to hear. I've just been kind of doing some of my own research on her and asked if she would share that information. So hopefully she will tell everything about herself. Got great videos of her and pictures, and excited to meet her.
Yeah, sounds fun.
Yeah.
Can't wait, girlfriend.
That's awesome. So Tuesday it's ppglear, lear.com.
Yep.
And then on Wednesdays it's paramotorgirl.com.
Correct.
All right. And we also got Linda Anderson, paramomusa.com. If you want to be on our
Walter,
show.
behave.
I'm
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
not to. Okay, come on. Guys. Come on,
I
guys.
don't have no tattoos.
Trying to close this up here. Linda Anderson, paramomusa.com. If you want to get on the show, just get up with her. Just go to paramomusa.com. Thank you so much, Linda Anderson, for being on the show. And you got a famous son that does a podcast on Thursdays. Tell us a little bit about that.
Of course I do. Of course I do, darling. Robert Michaels, the awesomest. Paraglidingtalk.com on Thursday nights. He always has like really cool guests. You never know when. Sometimes the last minute, I'm like, what's going on? You'll be like, I don't know, I'll get with you in a minute. I got this guest coming on, and he makes it work, and there you go. A lot of fun. Got a great group of guys on there, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. So I'll see you all on Thursday night. paraglidingtalk.com.
Awesome.
About anything. There you go.
Walter, go ahead, tell us. Oh, you can't tell us nothing. But he did make signs. He has signs.
Fine.
Gramps,
Gramps.
love you.
Do not ever play charades with Walter. He will.
Yeah, really. Sounds like. No, this was fun tonight.
Yeah, I had a really good time. Too
Yeah.
bad that Mike could have made it on earlier, but totally
Yeah. Yeah.
understand. Things do happen. But we talked about paramotors, and that's what we love to do. So every Monday night on
I learned a lot.
clearproptv.com, paratalk.org, and PPG Grandpa's Paramotor Podcast, we always talk about paramotors on Monday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Wait a minute, 8 p.m. Wait a minute, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern.
There
Did I
you
get
go.
that right? Did I do that right? I sure hope I did.
Yeah.
After 3 years, I should know that. Anybody want to say anything before? Hey, look at PPG Grandpa stickers he has down under from tomorrow.
Sneakers. He got some sneakers.
Which reminds me, if you guys want stickers, clearproptv.com stickers and all sorts of other things, we got Paraswag stickers, Clearprop TV stickers, and we normally do the spinning wheel of winning things, but you guys can always just text me, 501-747-3558. Yes, that is my real phone number. And just text me your name and your address and say, hey, I watched your show and I want some free stickers. Send them to me, please. I will send them to you. No problem.
There you go.
That's
what
nice.
I gotta do. That's it.
It's fun to do. It really is. It's fun to send out stickers. Got a ton of them. Need to send them out. So you guys just text me. What is that? Paramotor Pilot?
That's a cool. That's a patch, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a kangaroo patch.
Very cool. Very cool.
I saw the kangaroo in it. He's showing us. Are these stickers? Another Paramotor Pilot sticker? Yep. There's
Patch.
stickers.
At the patch.
Oh,
See,
it's a
he
patch.
always doing the sewing, and I'm telling you, man, he is a freaking charade king.
He's got his second win there because he just had his coffee and everything, so he's ready to go. And we're all like ready to call it a night. And he's
He
ready
has
to call it
all
a
of
day.
his wind because he's not
Make it a
talking.
day, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Well,
right.
cool. I like that. Where'd you get that sticker?
It's not a sticker, it's a patch.
Yeah, but where'd you get that patch? That's cool. The Trike one. I've never seen that.
He says
I have-
smile. He says smile.amazon.com.
Okay, then I'll have to get one. That's pretty cool.
They're all over the place.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, it is 9:30 already. So we've been talking since 7 and it's 9:30.
It's
Who does-
10:30 here, so
Who does that? That's insane. Jade doesn't go that long, right? Jade, you're just a hour girl. She's on mute. She doesn't want to talk to us. There she is.
Yeah, if I got good content and my co-hosts and guests have more wind, we will try to go longer, but we usually fizzle out, especially like last week, right, Walter? We had to cut it short.
Walter fizzled out.
Walter fizzled.
Walter fizzled out. Sorry, Walter. He fizzled out.
That's funny.
We can hear you fine. What are you talking about? What? No, we're just kidding. We can't hear you. Wish we could.
Oh,
That would have been a cruel joke.
You're like, what? All night you heard me? Darn it. He was like, maybe I shouldn't have tooted back here. Maybe you could have heard me. Oh,
Grant.
Gramps. Does it say clamps?
Yeah,
Is that ramp?
Damn.
Grant.
Grams? I can't read Australian writing, apparently.
Backwards.
Grumps?
Grump? There you go. There you go.
Just call me a grump. I'm a
Grumpa.
grumpy grump.
Grump.
Man,
All right,
I,
Bruce.
I had so much fun. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you give us the thumbs up. That really does help. I hope I said everybody's name that was in the chat. Did I miss anybody in the chat? Will or anybody else? I think that we got. I think we got everybody. I think that we said
Oh,
everybody's name. At least that's what I really tried to do. We had a lot of watching, a lot of people watching. We had a lot of thumbs up. We appreciate that.
yes.
And we also are getting a lot of, see, hold on. Let me see if I can go here real quick. If we go to paratalk.org, that is our audio that we put up there. And right now we have almost 25,000 downloads that you guys are downloading. We got a lot of people that are following. We really appreciate you.
Yes, we do.
And if you just search for PPG Grandpa's Paramotor Podcast, it's everywhere. So I only know what's on the paratalk.org, the downloads. I don't know about the rest of the world. I have no idea how many people have downloaded this stuff, but it seems to be a lot. And we really appreciate you guys. Anything else before we head on out, guys? Any words to wisdom, Will, Jade, Linda?
Well, next Monday, I got on my calendar, we got Colin Hubbard supposed to be in the house.
Okay.
Monday. So I always, on Fridays, whatever, I always like I do, I mess them and remind them, hey, Monday's coming up, whatever. So yeah, so we got him on board.
Good. Another guest. Awesome.
Yeah.
Will or Jade, any words to wisdom before we head on out?
Nope, just fly safe.
Oh, dang it. You took mine. Now
No, you took
That's always
mine.
mine.
No, that's mine. No, that's mine.
Oh,
I say
want to
have
say
fun.
Thanks,
So,
Will Fry.
Will Fry. Thank you, Will
We'll
Fry.
try. What does Robert always say? If I don't see you on the air, I'll see you in the air.
He always says, spiritlightingtalk.com.
Yeah, that's right. Robert's ears are probably ringing. Somebody's talking about me.
Did you teach him to talk that way, Linda?
No, actually, I think he did that. Yeah, I don't know where that came from. Not from me. No, not from me. I might have, probably, yeah. What are you waving out there, Walter? You're just like all over the screen tonight.
He cray.
What are those?
I don't know, but I'm going to turn this off so people that
Okay.
are listening to us in the future are don't have to listen to this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
thank you very much for listening. Subscribe if you haven't, and we'll see you tomorrow and Wednesday and Thursday. All right.
Thanks, chatters.
Woohoo!
Good night.